Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow traders, it is now the end of the week of this crazy trading week. This was a very challenging week, one of the most challenging weeks I've actually ever had. But on the flip side, I actually weathered this week better than I've ever weathered any tough week. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Today was just like every other day this week. A lot of erratic behavior. There was a massive sell-off the night before, and then they basically rallied it all the way back up, only to rally it all the way down again. It was just absolutely crazy and absolutely insane. Things were moving so erratically, things were moving so quickly, it was really hard to keep up. Missed out on a lot of opportunities as a result. But we're going to get into it now, and we are going to actually start with Dow Jones. Okay, so I had 11 trades today in total that I was able to get. 6 of them were break even, 3 losses and 2 gains. I'm not going to get into any of the break evens, but I'm going to get into the other ones, the other 5 trades. So went in on Dow with my oscillator indicator for a short, and it didn't work out. Check it out. And then I went in on ES, also with an oscillator indicator, also for a short, and I also ended up with the same fate of a loss on the trade. Take a look. And then I went in on Dow, again another oscillator indicator short, and this time I got a nice gain of 43 ticks. Check it out. And then I went in on a Nasdaq trend line. Now, I actually went outside of my rules in this one, slightly outside, only because the trend line was very close. It was actually lower than the lowest point that Nasdaq went to from yesterday, which was a really, really low point, over 400 points. And so I thought that it would rally up from there at the very least, just for a slight pullback. So I did go outside, I compromised, and I paid for it. The other reason too is because I had just missed out on the best ES short that I could have had for the day. And I think some part of my emotions also played into this. But I would say ultimately it was because it had reached the low point and I just thought that I would take a chance on it. Completely outside of my strategy. And of course, like every other time, I paid for it. Take a look. And then my final trade I'm going to show was also Nasdaq on a trend line play, but this time it was for a short, and I was finally able to make a really good amount of money on this one. Ran for 160 ticks, and I was able to cut down all of my losses for the day. Take a look. And so here's my balance. I actually got to a point where I had about $260 in losses. So with that final trade that I had, I cut it down to around 20 bucks. So I have a small loss day. But overall, actually for the week, I ended up with a gain week. So I ended up with $50 for the entire week. So I had 2 gain days, I had 2 break-even days, and I had 1 loss day. And so that's how my week went. And hopefully next week is going to be better. Hopefully this does not carry over into next week because of the stuff going on in the Middle East. Let's hope it's done now and we can focus again next week. And next week should be a much better week for us. So stay tuned. Look forward to it. If you are considering trading, please do not use your own money. Use Apex. 80% off right now. Use the code link below. And I will see you next week. Take care. God bless.